This ain't over yet. James Landau, BBC News, Westminster.
Well, let's join our political editor, Nick Robinson, who's at the Palace of Westminster. Nick, where does Parliament stand, do you think, after today's event?
Well, in confusion and muddle, frankly, here. This was supposed to be the day in which the political establishment here showed to the public that they got it, to use the vernacular of this expenses crisis. But what have we had? We've had a man called Sir Thomas reviewing the rules, rewriting the rules of this place because he says they weren't acceptable, and ordering about half of MPs to pay money back. But not so simple, because then a man called Sir Paul said he shouldn't have rewritten the rules, so he rewrote some of the repayments on appeals. Meanwhile, a guy called Sir Christopher has proposed new rules, but he won't actually make the new rules. A man called Sir Ian actually does that, and Sir Christopher has written to Sir Ian to tell him not to water them down. Meantime, the man who actually runs this place, or helps run it, an MP called Sir Stuart, says, "Don't worry ahead, the House is getting itself in order." Well, frankly, I don't think many people will feel that tonight. This whole exercise has cost a little bit more than it's saved. Cost 1.16 million, saving 1.12. It would be funny if it wasn't so serious.
And we have Nick Clegg today. Nick, saying that this hopefully is the final chapter. Do you see it as the final chapter?
I don't think it is the final chapter, no. I mean, remember that this really began as much as 30 years ago when a Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, said we can't put your pay up to MPs, and effectively gave the shop stewards of this place control over their own conditions. Every Prime Minister since has maintained that system. 5 years ago, there were the first freedom of information requests. Tomorrow we may hear if the police and the courts get involved. It's not over, and frankly here it will only be over when we talk about what MPs do, rather than what they're paid and what they claim, and it can't come a moment too soon.
Nick, thank you very much. Nick Robinson there for us at Westminster. An overseas doctor on his first NHS shift in Britain unlawfully killed a patient, according to a coroner in Cambridgeshire. Dr. Daniel Ubani was based in Germany but was working as an out-of-hours GP when he gave David Gray a fatal overdose of diamorphine. The coroner called for major changes to the recruitment and use of locums from abroad. As Brandon Jeffries, our health correspondent, reports.
David Gray was a patient who needed care out of hours. Dr. Daniel Ubani, the GP who killed him through a basic error. He'd flown in from Germany the night before his first shift in the UK. That first day, he was called out to many in Cambridgeshire. David Gray was at home in intense pain from kidney stones. As it was a Saturday, his own doctor's surgery just yards away was closed. So the painkiller diamorphine was injected by Dr. Ubani. David Gray thanked him. He didn't know he'd just been given a lethal overdose, killed by a doctor the coroner described as incompetent.
I'd like to know what was going through his mind, why he's done what he's done, why he's not got the guts to attend the coroner's inquest and speak to people about what he's done.
Daniel Ubani wasn't given enough out-of-hours training, just one of many loopholes in out-of-hours care revealed by this case.
Good evening, Badger Medical Centre. Could I take the patient's doctor's name, please?
This service is at the sharp end, on call to more than 1 million people in the Midlands. It's run by local doctors in a not-for-profit organisation. They've had to battle to get £5 per patient per year from the local NHS.
The resources that go into most of the services here by the primary care trusts cost them less to look after one of their patients per year than it costs to insure a cat for a month.
Every doctor working here has had extra training. They know their way around common drugs in the local NHS. But not all out-of-hours services in England are this thorough. 2 years after David Gray's death, ministers say they will now enforce tougher standards.
What we need to do is stop